Hey there, friends. There has been a lot on the podcast sphere lately about pastors, greedy pastors making money, churches, and how easy it is to use their nonprofit status for fraud and hiding things from the parishioners. It's a scary world. It's enough to make some people lose faith. I'm here today so you don't lose faith, okay? And I am going to do that by helping you figure out where to go to church without preaching to you, without telling you, well, you need to go to my church, because everybody gets polemical. Everybody wants to be like, we have the exact right beliefs and you need to come here. And if you don't, there's a problem. And I ain't going to do that to you. I'm going to give you 3 easy tips to follow that if you follow them, you might not go to the house of worship like mine, but I'll feel pretty good about where you're going. Now, as I heard this lately, just about the excesses in what some of these churches do. And it ain't just the megachurch people, that they buy a jet or they buy a ranch through their church, okay, and write it off. It can be your local big megachurch pastor, that maybe started the church and the congregation isn't too clear about where the money's going. Okay. Or it could just be a church that there's nothing fraudulent. There's no taking the money, but it's just all about money. It's just all about give us this money so we can have a bigger band or we can have a bigger building or whatever it is. And it got me thinking back when I was a freshman at Vanderbilt University way back in the day. And I had a friend, and his dad was a pastor, like my dad was a pastor. And we would have these long conversations about theology and about faith, but we'd also have conversations about, okay, what are we going to do when we graduate? And there was a time, didn't last very long for me. Now, my brother, it did. He became a pastor. But there was a time I bandied about, well, what if I get into the family business? What if I become a pastor? And I put it that way because this friend of mine and I, we started talking about it like it was a business. We started talking about being a pastor, going to a church, like it was a business, like it was a career, like it was hey, I'm going to see where my skills are and I'm going to pick these through the career counselor and I'm going to go down the Masters of Divinity tract. And we talk about the benefits and how much you could get paid and the retirement and all the things it could let you do. And hey, man, once you get a good gig, how hard can it be? And we were just talking that way. And then I remember at some point in that conversation, I just stopped myself and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Is this what the disciples did in the Bible? Like, was it a career path? Did they go on the road because they were going to build some huge church and get paid a lot of money? No, man. What did Jesus tell those disciples? You're going to suffer. Go out there with nothing. All you need are the clothes on your back and your shoes. Your faith will feed you. There was nothing about it about getting rich, okay? It was the opposite of what becoming a pastor today for a lot of people is, okay? So, in a world where everything's shiny and nice, how do you decide, where do I go to church? Maybe you find yourself in one of those churches and it's thin or you don't like it, or maybe you have good reason to be cynical about them because of all the bad that's been done and you don't even go anywhere. So 3 things to look for, okay? Number 1, you want to walk into a church and the thing that you want to be surrounded with immediately is humility. You want to be around people that you feel humility, not shiny, not look at me, not look at how great I am, not look at everything God's done for me. Oh, that's not necessarily bad, but if that's what you lead with, look at me, look what God's done. I'm not sure how humble you are. You want humility. You want people that immediately want to serve you. You want people that aren't afraid to show you their warts, okay? You want people that are using that money to feed the poor, not to build a new gym, okay? Now, where am I pretty sure you're not going to find humility? Now, this is going to ruffle some feathers. You go to the church and they're like in the middle of a rebrand, a new logo. What's our cool new name going to be? Is it going to be like Fuel on Fire? I'd probably skip it. Okay, you probably go to the next church. Okay, if you go there on the Sunday morning and a band's playing and people are like sipping lattes, from the coffee shop, I would probably skip it. And in general, if you walk in there and you feel like the purpose of that church, everything is designed around you and entertaining you, I don't think you're going to find a lot of humility there. I'd probably skip it. So humility, meekness, kindness, money going to the people that need it, the poor. It's in the New Testament. I mean, where do you find Jesus? You find him in prison, going to a prisoner. You find him helping the single mom. You find him helping the homeless person. Okay? You find him helping the immigrant walking around with looking for opportunity. That's where you find him. Okay? You don't find him at the latte bar at the Fuel on Fire church. Okay? Number 2, you want community. Okay? We are only meant to be in groups. We evolved this way. Okay? We were created this way. 100 people, you start getting more than 100 people, that's like out of your bandwidth, man. Okay? And so you want to find a church, in my experience, 100 to 150 people. Okay? Any bigger than that, you get lost. You become a group within a group. And more importantly, the leaders get disconnected with the people in the church. And as soon as you go to a church that is so big that the pastor is like a chief executive, get out of there. Maybe watch his sermons on Sunday morning. I got no problem if you like Rick Warren. Would I go to his church? Probably not. Okay? Would I read his books? Would I watch his videos? Yeah, he's got some good stuff. But am I going to walk in there and be this unknown person in this big place? Not a good idea. You want to find community. Okay? And this is also important. And it's one thing, our culture used to revere old people. It used to revere experienced people. You used to grow up in a village, in a town where people of all ages were your mentors and looked out for you. Don't go to church looking for I'm a young professional couple in my 30s and I got 2 kids and I want to find a group of people just the same. No. You don't want that echo chamber. You know what you want? You want a church of about 100 to 150 people where you got some old people, you got some single people, you got people of all kinds of different backgrounds that you can support, that you can learn from, that you can be together, that you're your own little microcosm. And then as part of that, make it part of your routine. Don't just go on Sunday morning. Go to your Bible study, go to your services during the week, meet people outside a church for meals, build community. And especially with the ones that you don't think you have anything in common with, because those are the ones you're going to learn from. Those are the ones who are going to push you. Okay? Those are the ones that are going to make your life feel vibrant and alive because it's going to kind of keep you out of a rut. So search for and find community in a smaller church. Okay? And then the last one is, and this is the most important one, there's only one person that you follow, and he was a Jewish carpenter who they killed. Okay? And didn't have a lot. He didn't have a jet. He didn't have a Mercedes. He hung out with prostitutes. He hung out with tax collectors. He hung out with poor people, okay? My kind of people. He went to prisons. I mean, think how much of the New Testament was written from a prison, literally. Literally written from a prison, okay? If you're deciding where you're going to go to church on whether you think the pastor is cool or not, big fail. Big fail. It ain't good for you, and it's not good for the pastor. It's not good for either one of you, okay? Because it's not about the pastor and it's not about the new gym. It's not about the catchy sermon series and the book they're selling, okay? It's about one person, okay? That is JC. That is Jesus. That's the carpenter. That's it. And you know what he wants from you? Humility. You know what he wants you to be doing? He could care less if you're getting rich. Now, man, that's probably strong. If you're getting rich and you're using that money to help people, then he might care. But you're not, he don't care. In fact, he'd be worried about you. And you know how you follow that person? And you know how you know you're in the right church? Is if you're practicing your faith and you're going to church, and what it does to you is you get down on your knees and you realize it's not about me. And you begin to have a desire to help other people, to pick other people up, to go to places other people don't want to go to the places that are too dirty for other people, to go to the places that are too scary and dangerous for other people. okay, then you know you're on the right track, wherever that church is. So see, I don't even think I got into theology. Just find humility, be part of a small community, support each other, make it regular, and absolutely don't be there because of the pastor. Be there because of who the pastor's talking about. If you do that, I think you'll find you're in the right place, at least right now. Things change, we evolve, we develop, we learn things. But for now, you will be on the right track and in the right place. I'm Silouan. Good to see you. Out.